Hytale is coming out in 2 days, and no, I have never talked about Hytale on this channel before. Now, why haven't I talked about it? It is an indie game officially, well, again, and it's something that I think a lot of people should be talking about. It is quite literally the spiritual successor of Minecraft, and yet I said nothing about it. It is an indie game, and I said nothing about it. Until today. To be honest, there are a lot better channels who talk about the news and everything about Hytale much better than I do, and I watch pretty much most of them, well, at least the relevant ones, and they've been talking about Hytale ever since it was bought back by Simon. But for those of you who don't know what a Hytale is, I'm going to talk about the history in a rather short way because I don't want to go on and on and on about the history of Hytale. Hytale was created by Hypixel Studio, a team that originated from the popular Minecraft Hypixel server, with initial development starting in 2015. The game was co-founded by Simon Colin Laughlin and Philippe Touchet. I hope I said their names right. However, in 2020, Riot Games acquired Hytale and it faced a ton of development issues. And it was pretty bad. I was one of the hopefuls who was waiting for Hytale for all those years. There was news coming out from the channels who were following Hytale every so often, every couple of months, if so several months. But then there was news that Hytale's development was being shut down by Riot. And, well, there was a lot of lost hope there. And just like that, the game was just gone for a lot of people. They thought that holding out long enough, Riot would develop the game, but it just wasn't enough. And after that, well, a lot of people lost a lot of hope. That is until the GOAT Simon came in and started talking with Riot about reacquiring the IP. And much like so many people who were watching some of the most famous things that was happening in the news, people were watching Simon and seeing if he was able to acquire the IP. I mean, it was originally his baby, so he should be able to talk his way through these Riot high-end people to see to get his baby back. People were hounding Simon's tweets for weeks. They were giving out news on what was happening. Every time he posted a tweet, people posted it everywhere else on other social medias. Everybody was asking, will he be able to do it? And then finally, he does it. In November 2025, Hypixel Studio reacquires the IP from Riot for a certain amount, I'm sure it's in the millions. But after reacquiring Hypixel, he sets out with a new team, hiring people back who already worked on the game, bringing in new people, doing things that made sense in the modern era for a game that has gone back to being independent. And this is where the kind of renaissance comes back, because a lot of channels reawaken, coming back from dormancy. There are those who are just like, thank goodness. I was actually in the Discord where everybody was shouting out loud, like, holy crap, it's back, I am going to play this game. People were celebrating. The biggest two for me is Quebec Corner and Hytale News. I am in the Discord for Hytale News, and I'm always looking at it to see what news is coming out, obviously, but when Hytale was repurchased by Simon, everybody was going ballistic. I mean, if you think about it, the tumultuous history that Hytale had, development starting in 2015, then they came out with a trailer in 2018, literally over 10 years of development going back and forth in terms of hands on who acquired what. Finally coming back to the original hands where he was going to do something different with a smaller team. And now Hytale is coming out tomorrow. What am I going to do about it? Well, I'm going to play it. I'm going to buy it, I'm going to stream it, and I will see if I can make content out of it. I'm not doing this just for the content, but I really wanted to play a game like this for a long time. I mean, if you look at the game, it may not be as optimized when it comes out, but it does look great. It does look like it can do so much more better than the other block game. And I have nothing against Minecraft. I love Minecraft. It's still one of the best games out there. In fact, it's the most sold video game of all time. And whenever there are friends who create a server for me to jump into, I will join them. I mean, if you look at what Minecraft has done, you see how the community is and how much modding in that community and so much creativity coming out of that game. Be it an adventure map or maybe a parkour map or even Cobblemon. You can do so many things with Minecraft, and I feel the same way with Hytale. In fact, if you haven't been watching the news as of late, there has been already plenty of mods that are being worked on or has already been worked into Hytale already. Like, they're good to go at launch ready. These people who created these mods were dedicated to this game. Dedicated to Minecraft, I'm pretty sure at first, but they came over to Hytale to bring their creativity over here. And Simon did emphasize on the creativity of these mods that are open to these people. They want creativity to flourish within Hytale. They made it easy for people to make movies, to make machinimas, to make their own game maps, to make their own monsters and mobs, pretty much anything, I believe. They even showcased a top-down, almost ARPG-like game where you're controlling the character top-down and they're shooting everywhere. They even showcased like an adventure map that was more cyberpunky, with assets that can be, again, used on day one in creative. So the game is already going to come out with an adventure mode, with creative mode, and mod support, which is amazing all around. So I asked the question again, why haven't I talked about Hytale before? And again, I have to say this, there are a lot better people out there that talk about Hytale news. I'm not a Hytale channel, I talk about indie games. Hytale is now an indie game, so I can talk about it. My number one rule on this channel is to talk about indie games, and if it affects an indie game, I will talk about it in some sort of news. Whether or not a game is considered a dark horse for this channel depends on whether or not they can be looked at as indie or AA. A dark horse, for example, is something like Octopath Traveler or Bravely Default, or the more recent game that I did a demo on, The Adventures of Elliot. Those are all made by a AAA company, but they have the budget and small size that of a AA or an indie. But that's besides the point, since Hytale was worked on by a large Riot team, I think. I'm not too sure what the story is on that, but right now it's indie, it's independent, with a smaller team. Now, I don't know what the budget is for Hytale, but I know one thing for sure, is that it's going to be worked on for years to come. We're going to get early access to the game tomorrow, and let me just tell you, it's already on a road to success, seeing how it already sold 1 million copies. Simon's even asking us to install the launcher so that we don't have any snags. He does expect 1 million people to actually log on into Hytale. I mean, with 1 million copies sold, yeah, who wouldn't blame him? I mean, there's going to be so many Minecraft YouTubers who are probably going to switch over to Hytale or at least dabble in it. And when that does come to pass, I'm pretty sure there's going to be maybe a renaissance for both Minecraft and Hytale. But I do not know that for sure. All I know is that I am expressingly happy to see that the game is actually coming out. And I can stop worrying about rumors and videos coming out from YouTubers talking about when it's going to come out, and rumors on, hey, the development looks like this, so it probably will come out by the end of the year or something like that. Granted, the game is coming out tomorrow, and, well, a lot of people are going to play the game, including myself. Now, I was thinking of making a separate channel if I do get hooked onto Hytale, but I don't know. Am I a Hytale type of person? I don't know. But if I do find myself having fun with the game and I continue to make content on it, or I continue to have fun within it, I don't know. Maybe I will. Maybe I won't. Maybe it'll just stay here. I don't know. But all I can say, guys, what do you feel about all this? How do you feel about Hytale? Do you even know the game? Have you been waiting for this as long as I have? I'm quite excited to see that the game is coming out. Again, coming out tomorrow. I'm going to try to rush this video out as best as I can, so excuse me for any of the editing mistakes that are inevitably going to be in here. See, that was a cut right there because I messed up that word. Anyway, I will see you guys tomorrow. Have a good one, and have fun playing Hytale. I know I will.